look in your order of service, there's a little sing-along song sheet. Might be useful. Although for this song, if you know it, you might not need it. But feel free to join in at any time. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Well, I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song of love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land.
Awesome.
And now, a message for all ages.
Good morning. I'm going to stand. If any of the young or young at heart would like to come up, I might be up too high. You might want to take a nearby table so you can see. But you're welcome to sit on the floor too. You want the floor, Lillian? Okay, you can sit. You going to stand with me? Okay, you can stand with me. Okay. Do you all remember a few days ago when we had all that rain? I was out running some errands, and I thought it was clearing up, so I didn't bring my umbrella with me. Of course, as soon as I got to the parking lot of my daughter's school, where I have to cross a huge field where I go to pick her up, it started to pour again. Just huge sheets of water dumping down on the ground and on me. Needless to say, I was soaked after a few seconds, and it took a long time to dry off. That incident reminded me of the story I want to share with you today. There are two important parts of this story. The first one, whenever I say boom, I need you to shout boom as loud as you can. Let's practice. Boom. Very good. You are super loud. And there will be times when I say the word sanctuary. Whenever you hear the word sanctuary, I want you to quietly say the word sanctuary. Let's practice. Sanctuary. Great job. So, once upon a time, there was a child, just like you, who was caught outside in a sudden rainstorm. They had the good idea to run inside to the nearest store to wait out the rainstorm. As soon as they closed the door behind them, a bright flash and a loud boom of thunder followed. The child knew from the way it was pouring that they would be stuck in that store for quite a while. They started to look around at some of the different items in the store when the shopkeeper appeared. "Hello, child," said the shopkeeper. "Can I help you with something?" The child pointed outside, feeling a little too nervous to talk. "Ah," said the shopkeeper, "did you run in to escape the rain?" The child nodded slowly as another loud boom of thunder shook the store. "Well, you can wait here if you'd like in my little sanctuary. We've got a nice sturdy roof over our heads and it will keep you safe and dry." The child appreciated the offer, but they really needed to get on their way. The shopkeeper could tell the child was hesitating. "Or," continued the shopkeeper, "you could head back outside with this." The shopkeeper went behind the counter, and what do you think they pulled out? Yeah, an umbrella. "Take this umbrella," said the shopkeep. "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary." The child beamed, but then stopped in their tracks. "But I don't have any money," they said. The shopkeeper said, "No worries, child. Just be sure to offer the umbrella to someone else when they need it." The child accepted the umbrella, thanked the shopkeeper, opened up the umbrella, and went on their way. The child was happy and dry. They started skipping down the street and were perfectly happy when they saw a grown-up dressed in fine clothes, trying to keep dry with a newspaper over their head. They heard another loud boom, and they could see the newspaper falling apart under the heavy rain. They skipped over to the very wet grown-up and held the umbrella up as high as they could. "Thank you," said the grown-up. Remembering the words from the shopkeeper, the child said to the grown-up, "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry with me under this portable sanctuary." The grown-up smiled in relief. They had been having a really bad day. See, they were wearing nice clothes because they were on their way to a job interview. They had been out of work for a long, long time and really needed this job to work out. They had to walk to the interview because they didn't have a car, couldn't afford one. When it started to rain, the grown-up felt doomed. Showing up to a really important job interview soaked would make a terrible first impression. The child spotted their family in the store across the street. "Here," said the child, "take the umbrella with you. I see my family right over there across the street." "Oh, I couldn't take your umbrella," said the grown-up, feeling guilty. "No, take it. Just be sure to offer the umbrella to someone else when they need it." The child put the umbrella into the grown-up's hands and then ran off to meet their family. The grown-up was struck by the kindness of the child. They knew they had to hurry, though, because it was almost time for the interview. Another boom of thunder caused them to start running. Guess what? The grown-up got that job they were interviewing for, and soon enough they were able to afford to buy a few umbrellas of their own. And whenever it rained, they would bring not only the umbrella that the child had given them, but also a few more umbrellas to give away to people who were stuck outside in the rain. And every time they gave away an umbrella, they would say, "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary." And soon everyone in town had an umbrella that they would take with them. And if the townspeople passed someone without an umbrella, they would give up their own umbrella and pass on the words, now spread through the entire town, "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary." Thank you.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything, make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth. And now you see the light. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitters is gold. Half the story's been told. So now you see the light.
Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. One more time. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
In our story today, The Umbrella Sanctuary, you have ideas of safety, of paying it forward, of doing something for someone else, compassion, but also of action, doing. This is the one thing that social service and social action have in common. Last week, you received in your order service an orange sheet like this. It clarified the difference in how we look at social service versus social justice. Both are important. Social service focuses on helping people now. For example, bringing cans of food that helps out the Bristol Food Bank. That's something you can do now, okay? Or volunteering, as some people did, on Martin Luther King Jr. Service Day at Liberté, a place that hopes to help women with drug dependency issues and their families. Or participating in the next We Care adventure. We are going to Aid for Friends in just a couple of weeks, February 11th. So mark that on your calendars if you can go. We will be creating meals, as Bernie said, for the shut-ins. And we have a great time doing this. It's a great project whether you're 4 years old or 94 and everything in between. We always have a good time. It will be 1 to 3 that day. There's no football going on that day, by the way. It's a great family project with a great message, a message of caring. This is the realm of We Care. The We Care Committee is Bernie Griga, Kathleen Dorian, Gil Christenberry, and myself so far. We also have Bill. I'm not sure if he's come to our meeting, so. And not only that, you guys are. And the way you are is that you've contributed in some way. We have the split plate collection. Well, that's basically a We Care function. We have trips to Liberté, Aid for Friends, or one thing I didn't mention that we do is the Breakfast Club. Twice a month, we go and give our great breakfast for homeless people at the homeless shelter in Levittown. So this is just what we do. But social justice is different. It's about social change and not social service. Social service, like We Care, is about helping someone now. Social justice is about changing institutions, public or private, to promote a just society. Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, Dreamers, all example different social justice movements. Both social service and social justice involves action to alleviate social inequities, but their approach is different. Most of the year I talk about the former, today more so about the latter. We as UUs are called upon to witness the injustice that surrounds us and act according to our principles. This month we've talked about social justice. Through discussion, we often sort out our ideas, but action is what really matters. Change occurs not when people think, but after that, when they do something to cause the change. We are not bound by dogma as UUs. You can follow your own spiritual path. We're not bound by political party. You can choose to be Democratic, or Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Communist, or anything else. But there is a clincher. We are bound by our principles. We have 7 principles that we try to go by. 4 are more relevant today, so I'm going to gloss over the 4. The first one is the most important because I think everything flows from that. First principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. This means I might not like what somebody says, but I respect who they are. The other ones kind of come from that. The second principle says justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. The 5th principle says the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and within the society at large. And the 6th one says the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. These 4 principles call upon us to do what we can to fight injustices. So, what can we do? Most importantly is that we need to vote. We need to vote our conscience. Our most important democratic power is the vote. And too often that is not used in this country. We need to use our vote in the primary and at the general election. Some other things we can do as UUs is we can protest. A lot of people went to the Women's March. There was also an impeachment march that day. There are vigils for gun control. Meet with government officials. We can do that. Representatives, senators, and governors. You can call them. You can write them. And that's what we're going to do today. You can email them. And you can even write letters to the editors of newspapers. Has there been anybody in here who's ever written a letter to our newspaper? Me too. Good. You activists, you. So what are some of the... That's blank. What are some of the issues? Well, there are environmental concerns. Fracking, resurgence of coal, increased tariffs on solar energy imports, what we do with our plastics, right? Keystone Pipeline, and the global warming. I have a question for you now. Maybe I'll put my glasses on. Well, there you are. What are the issues that you think are important to you? We're going to throw some of them down here. Do you want to? Oh, you have the microphone? Oh, you're going to write them? Okay, very good. Just stand up and or raise your hand. Where's that? Income inequality. Well, the goal is equality, right? Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Anybody? Yes. A living wage. Yes.
This is a little more local, but a few of us were out the other day in Bensalem as far as the 287G program, which allows the police department, tells the police department basically to work with ICE, rounding up people, taking them out of the country. So it's a local one.
It's local, but it has importance to everybody. Yes. Could you say it one more time? Political. Yes. Inequalities of the political justice system, the justice system. Justice system and police. Yes. Very good. Thank you. Wait. Say, could you raise your hand at least so I know where it's coming? All right. Well, then stand up. Stand up for your rights.
How about if we call it draining the swamp?
So, okay.
How about all forms of influence in Congress because of money and
gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering is one of them, but being able to influence our legislation just because of money.
Yeah. Yes. Issues of abuse. Yes. Environmental deregulation. Yeah. Yes. Climate change. Where are we here? Right. All right. You have national, international leadership issues, I guess.
One more.
Yep.
Affordable, accessible health care
All
for
right.
all.
Yeah. Equality in education. Yes. Racism. Yes. What? Oh, cleaning the ocean up. Okay. We got one more. Yeah. Housing. Housing for all. We thought we had one more. We've got at least three more. Maybe we need another sheet. Yes. Louder. Protect animals, right. Yep. That is great. That's also one of the UU principles. And I think we've got more than enough. Oh, no, we don't. One more. Shout it out.
You actually need to build the wall, but that wall is between government and religion.
Ooh, whoa. Those are heavy words.
It's a much shorter wall. We'll just build it around Washington.
All right. We. Right. Animal rights. Whatever you want. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you for your issues. There were more than I expected. But there are a lot more out there still, yeah? All right. Did you know, by the way, that our congregation is reforming the Social Action Committee? A gathering of concerned women and men met back here briefly after services last week to discuss how to move forward. If you feel moved to participate or want to be in the loop, it says here, because I wrote it, see Felice. He's not here, but if you put your name and email address, I'll give it to him, and we'll see what we can do. He's already set up a mailing listing. All right. So now we have an activity for you to do prior to lunch. We chose a letter writing campaign. It was thought that this might be a good starting point. Voting or meeting with your representative is better, but a handwritten letter is preferred over one that is typed, or one that is a copy, or an email even. Those that view them in your representative offices, if people actually open them up, tend to put more value on them. So we're going to put a template at each table. This will have the format of the letter, but the content is really up to you. And Bernie, can we just see one? We're going to give you blank paper, but basically at the top left you have month, day, year. You have the honorable because you're probably either going to send it to a representative or a senator, but it depends on your issue. First name, last name, room number, etc. And then you say, my name is, I'm a community member who resides in your district. State why you state or oppose a bill, and if it's not something that you know exactly, then you put what you're opposing.
But also, it's very important to put the fact that you vote in this district.
Yeah.
That's the important thing, because that's our leverage.
He says that you have to indicate that you are a voter in this person's district, all right, because that has a lot more power than the other. State why, and then include a little personal story about you and how it might affect you or somebody you know, and that also has more import. And I guess that's enough to say. I chose one issue just to highlight on, and that was DACA. It refers to Deferred Action of Childhood Arrivals. That was a program set up to prevent immigrants from being deported who were brought to the U.S. as children, under 16. 800,000 are enrolled in the program now, and research has shown that DACA increased the pay and work participation of these families. They're less in poverty, and they've increased mental health outcomes. And they haven't gotten in trouble. They've been good individuals, not quite citizens, but individuals. They're in this limbo area, and they're not citizens. The Trump administration ended the program in September, but gave Congress 6 months to decide what to do with the people currently in the program. Thursday, the president talked of a new, further-reaching program, but have no details yet. We know that the parents of these individuals would be sent home. That much we do know. And pretty much we don't know anything else. But it's tied into the wall, all right? He would push for this if you okay the wall. These are tumultuous times. You can today write your senator or representative to tell your feelings on the issue or make your voice heard on another bill or issue, and we're going to spread these out a little bit so you can see them. When you're done, please seal your letter, address it appropriately, and give it to us. We have postage up here, and we'll make sure that it actually gets out today. Our youth, who have already said what they felt about some of these issues, they're important to us, and we want them to participate too. So we can set a spot over here for the youth to sit and either draw, create a sign, or in some way express how they feel. This can then be put into their parents' letter if you choose to do so or not. All right? Well, after about 10 minutes or so of doing this, we are going to have a song and we have closing comments. All right? And we're going to start off with a song now.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
what true brotherhood meant. It could be a wonderful world. Oh, it could be a wonderful world if we could consider each other a neighbor, a friend, or a brother. It could be a wonderful, wonderful world. It could be a wonderful world. Oh, it could be a wonderful world. Good?
All right, and now, at this point, if you haven't finished your letter, work on it. Well, we get some food soon, and you can finish it and give us the letters. We'll put the stamp on it. If you don't finish the letter and you want a stamp from me, because I got them, you can see me later. Now, we're going to close this. We have one tune, and we're going to close this set, right?
You ready for the song?
Yeah, it's time.
So as you are finishing up your letters, you are certainly welcome to join us in this last song. It is another rousing number, and it's pretty simple, too. So if you have not heard it before, by the time we get to the 17th or 18th verse, you will have caught on to it, I'm sure. Just kidding, there's not that many verses. But just like your letters, it's very easy to insert the thing that you care about into this song. So we'll hit on a few issues in this song. It was made popular by Pete Seeger and also by a band called The Seekers. And it is the one, We Shall Not Be Moved. So if you find that in your song sheets, feel free to sing along. We'll do the first the first verse together so you get a sense of it. And if you miss any of the words, you can always catch on the last two lines. Come in like this.